Breaking news, Google has launched their own AI coding platform. This past week, they dropped Firebase Studio, a full-stack AI workspace for you to prototype your app from a simple text prompt. In this video, I'm going to dive into the features Firebase Studio gives you, build an app from start to finish, and explore how this tool compares to other AI coding tools like Cursor, Lovable, and V0. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Matt. On this channel, I cover everything in the AI coding sphere and share updates on my personal projects I'm building, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date. So here's what Firebase Studio looks like when we load into the app. On the left here, we have our text prompt where we can describe the app we want to build. On the right here, we have our previous workspaces for apps. I've already tried a few just to get familiar with it. You can have up to 3 at the moment. There's also a tab where you can collaborate with projects with your peers in the Share With Me tab. And then down here, it also gives us the option to start from a template across many languages, whether that's Python, Java, or even mobile apps like Flutter and React Native. So it does give you a lot of variety in whatever your preferred coding language is. They also provide you with some example prompts in the select here to get inspired for what to build. A key advantage of Firebase Studio is that it has integrations with all of Google's AI coding platforms like the Google Gemini language model and also Firebase itself, which you can use as a database, authentication, and hosting your application, which not many other AI coding tools can offer. Now let's get into building. I do want to build an AI app using Gemini AI for a simple application. I'm thinking we build a calorie tracker app where I can just type in what I ate for the day, and it'll give me the calories and macronutrients for everything I ate to have a better nutrition diet day to day. So I'm gonna give it a very simple prompt, generate me a web app where I can type in what I ate for the day. Then after submitting, Gemini API calculates the calories and macronutrients for all the food I ate. Use blue as the primary color and use modern styling. And they are very explicit in branding this as prototype with AI, not necessarily build a fully fleshed out app. I think they do this as a way to give their consumers this tool before it's fully fledged out to get familiar with it. And I'm excited to see what future iterations they have in the future. But without further ado, let's see what it cooks up. So after submitting, it gives us a brief product requirements document here, overviewing the features, food input, submit, nutrient calculation, display the results. That looked good. It detected I wanted blue as my primary color. Got the layout, iconography, and some animations. Looks good to me. Let's keep proceeding. And you can see it getting to work right away. It's going to build out these files very fast, faster than Cursor from what I've seen. And we also have our chat over here on the right where we can reprompt, which I'll demonstrate later. And awesome, it gave us this very simple interface to start with. Text input just what I wanted, submit button, and it'll display the results here. And then if you notice on the right, another advantage of this is the integration with Gemini API, that it can prompt me to put in my own API key. Makes it super easy. Just click this auto generate button and it'll make the key for us. That just saves us a step of having to go into a large language model provider, signing up, getting the key, pasting it back in here. Integration makes it seamless. Cool, that worked. And now let's try it out and give it some basic things for what we ate. We can say pound of chicken, 2 apples, 2 protein bars, and 1 avocado. Click calculate, and awesome. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. 800 calories and our macros. Cool. I do like this setup where we can see the app here on the left and still talk to Gemini here on the right. So let's test a reprompt and say, in addition to the totals, I want to see the macros of each item I entered. Also, use emojis for the macros. And let's see if it can iterate on the first draft it made. We can see it making those changes here. Looks like this is the Next.js application. All right, let's put in what we ate again. Okay, and here it added the individual breakdown. Not the styling I was really hoping for, and these don't really look accurate. So I'm gonna prompt with that and say the macros for each item don't look accurate. Are we actually calling Gemini AI to calculate? Then I'll also say style the results more cleanly. Okay, after those changes, it did make everything yellow, but let's see if the functionality updated. All right, this looks better. It does have our icons, which we asked for. This definitely looks more reasonable for the food items we inputted. Cool, so I got the functionality down. Now, this is still the prototype view in Firebase Studio. If we go up here, click the switch to code button, it's gonna load up Visual Studio Code in our web browser, in addition to still having the Gemini prompts available on the right, and still be able to preview our app. So if you want to make more granular changes, we could find the specific files here in our Explorer and make more granular changes that way. Here's what the view fully looks like once it's all loaded. Now, this is still very simple. I would hope it would have added more features off my initial prompt. Let's try to prompt it to say, also allow me to put in my weight, age, and sex, and calculate the amount of remaining calories I need to eat for my maintenance. And it is asking me a few more times whether to proceed on certain changes. I would have liked it to be more like cursor agent mode and actually make those changes on its own and let me verify it visually. But we'll just keep clicking update here. So it looks like it's done. I'm gonna click refresh, and yep, here we have the extra fields you wanted. So I'll put in my weight, age, sex. Okay, that doesn't seem right, but at least it was able to add the feature. I wish I could eat this many calories. Then we'll try it again with some more food, see if it compares it to our maintenance like we asked. Okay, so it was at least able to preserve our previous functionality and give us the extra feature we wanted. So that was okay. Again, styling is a little off. I wish it compared the food I ate to my maintenance calories, but at least for getting a working application from the initial prompt I gave it, wasn't bad. I could definitely build off of this and add more features. A cool feature of Firebase Studio is if I want to put this project in my own GitHub, so I could then clone it down and do my own IDE like Cursor, I could go to the source control tab here, click on remote, add remote, and I could put in the GitHub repository or create a new one from Firebase Studio. Additionally, if I wanted to host this on Firebase, I can go up here, click the publish button, and it's very smooth integration to set up a Firebase project. Click a couple buttons to link it up, and it'll be deployed on production in less than 10 minutes, last I tried it. Now for comparison to other in-browser AI coding platforms, I'm gonna see what the product built by V0 would be for the same exact prompt we used in Firebase Studio, as well as in Lovable, and we're gonna compare the results. Another thing to note is you can pick the model you wanna use to be your coding assistant down here in the bottom right. I've had the best experience using Gemini 2.5 Pro over their default Gemini model, just gives better results. That's the better model. You may have to enter your own key to use that and pay for it, but worth it if you're trying to build out a real full stack app. So here's the V0 product. A little better than Gemini. I like it has better sectioning and icon usage. Still not a fully polished application by any means. Let's see if it can handle the language model integration. Yeah, we have some errors. Probably have to enter our own API key for here. And here's the Lovable product, actually prompts us to put in our Gemini API key after loading the app. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna click save, paste in what we ate for the day. This UI off the bat looks a lot better, vertically integrated, good icons and subtle gradient in the background. Okay, this has a API request failing, but this would definitely be probably a better starting point if I wanted to actually build a polished app that I want to share with people and demonstrate as an MVP for possibly a client or a hackathon project I'm working on. So knowing all the other AI coding tools that exist out there, I'll probably give Firebase Studio a 6 out of 10. I didn't really love the product that it generated out, not as clean and modern as the other applications. However, I do like the VS Code integration it has here. It's very familiar for me as someone that works in VS Code for their full-time job. And I do like the integrations with the Gemini API and Firebase for hosting. I think that has a lot of promise for when Google continues to build out this app. So that will definitely be something I'm on the lookout for. But today, if I wanted a quick prototype based on a prompt to start coding on a project, I would not use Firebase Studio. However, their app did work out of the box with the large language model, so I gotta give them credit for that. So let me know down below what you guys think of Firebase Studio, whether you've tried it or just thinking about getting into AI coding yourself. Is this something you'd use? Are you excited for the future? Or are you sticking with V0, Cursor, and Lovable until this thing really upgrades? Thanks for watching. Like this video if you learned something, and subscribe for more AI tech news. Thanks.